this was the week where Alec Baldwin went from impersonating Donald Trump to impersonating Dick Cheney. Thank you, NATO, for that. That juicy little joke. So on the set of filming The Western Rust, an assistant director handed Alec Baldwin, I was like, James Baldwin? No. Alec Baldwin, a prop gun that, unbeknownst to him, was in fact...
I'm super in favor of armed James Baldwin, by the way.
Yeah. Side note, super in favor of that. Give him all the loaded guns. Okay, so he was handed this prop gun that was loaded with live rounds. I don't think you can call it a prop gun at that point. There were live rounds. The gun misfired and killed cinematographer Halna Hutchins and injured one other.
The director. The director of the film.
The director of the film, exactly. So this is from the LA Times. There's more information coming out because when it happened, I was like, obviously, we all need to wait to understand what the hell went down. So the incident, Baldwin removed the gun from its holster once without incident, but the second time he did so, ammunition flew toward the trio around the monitor. The projectile whizzed by the camera operator, but penetrated Hutchins near her shoulder and then continued through to Souza, the director. Hutchins immediately fell to the ground as crew members applied pressure to her wound in an attempt to stop the bleeding. But it seems like the crew knew that this might actually happen and were warning their superiors about it. So 3 crew members who were present at the Bonanza Creek Ranch set on Saturday said they were particularly concerned about 2 accidental prop gun discharges. Baldwin's stunt double accidentally fired 2 rounds Saturday after being told that the gun was, quote, cold, lingo for a weapon that doesn't have any ammunition, including blanks. 2 crew members who witnessed the episode told the LA Times. In fact, one colleague was so alarmed by the prop gun misfires that he sent a text message to the unit production manager saying, quote, "We've had 3 accidental discharges. This is super unsafe," according to a copy of the message reviewed by the Times. So people knew about the gun. The new thing that just broke today was that the production manager had a complaint out against him for precisely cutting corners when it came to safety. And the other people who were unhappy with the cutting corners on that movie set were unionized crew members who that day walked off the job. So earlier, 6 hours before this shooting, members of IATSE who were working on that set walked off the job. And guess what? They were replaced by non-union members. So this is from, I want to actually just mention some of the reasons they were upset. Was that they were promised that they were going to be housed near to the actual set, but after the filming began, they were instead told they were required to make a 50-mile drive from Albuquerque each day rather than stay overnight in Santa Fe. That rankled crew members who worried they might have an accident after spending 12 to 13 hours on set. Remind you, a lot of these workers were driving themselves home. But so they walked off the set, and one of the producers ordered the union members to leave immediately and threatened to call security to remove them if they didn't leave voluntarily. So that's why they left. Quote, corners were being cut and they brought in non-union people so they could continue shooting.
And continue shooting they did.
A little too much shooting happened on set
while
they were shooting. So when this broke, I don't know, NATO, what you thought. My 2 initial reactions were, 1, there's got to be a labor dispute somewhere in here. This has got to do with workers' rights. And 2, can we still make fun of Hilaria Baldwin?
How do you say what is the word cucumber?
How do you say prop
in English?
Yeah. Live ammunition?
In English, ¿cómo se dice liability?
¿Cómo se dice pay your goddamn workers? Yeah, this isn't, I mean, obviously I feel terrible for Alec Baldwin. I really don't want to make fun of him, beyond what we just did, but like, it sucks.
But yeah, I mean, he's a producer on the show, so he's not responsible for the cost cutting of the show. My big takeaway was this happened within the week following, and I guess we're going to talk about this with our guests in a minute, but this is the week following the IATSE strike being called off, partly over some of these very same issues. So it's like, man, IATSE should have struck. The other thing that jumps out is that because they had a non-union crew and because they were cutting corners, they had a 24-year-old armorer. And, I'm not sure I would let a 24-year-old make me dinner, let alone like prepare heavy weaponry. Like, you
An
know what I mean?
armorer.
Armorer.
No, I mean, I think like, I don't understand why there was live ammunition in that gun, and everyone's trying to be like, well, what happened? No. Negligence happened. It happens all the time in whatever job anyone has when people are overworked, underpaid, and complaints that are filed are not followed through with. It happens all the time. And so, so I mean, I guess I just feel like it doesn't come down to, well, they really need to get gun control in liberal Hollywood, which they do. We can't even get gun control in fucking Hollywood, my God. But it's more than that, right? It's a universal labor issue. People being put in harm's way. You think about pilots who are flying on, less than 8 hours of sleep, like that. Those kinds of issues that put us all in danger. And again, this is all because it's supposedly prestigious to work on a Western with Alec Baldwin in the middle of Santa Fe. I don't think so. Like,
I've actually
pay people more, take some more precautions.
I think I've actually been to that set. I know I've been there. Because my in-laws are in Santa Fe, so or in New Mexico. I spent a fair amount of time there. I think I've been
There's
there,
only one
and
set?
there's like a couple of these like old Western sets between Santa Fe and Albuquerque, like out in the desert, and you could like people go film there, and then you could like rent it out for cocktail parties, and be real and like
That
be
sounds
super
really
corny.
fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
They
were they shooty?
No, you would like no, but you just like dress up in the goofy outfit and then you stand around,
Which is arguably what Baldwin was doing, and
arguably what Baldwin's doing.
no one should have gotten hurt. Well, like, shout out to all the like crew members, people who've been. God, I know I have friends who actually have horror stories for working on set. Actually, a friend of mine had a terrible heat stroke that left him partially paralyzed because he was out in a desert-like situation shooting, I think it was a music video, and he fucking passed out. He had a stroke, and he was in a coma for like a month. So anyway, this happens all the time. It is not glitz and glamour. It is exploitation. What's going on, Frantifa? If you haven't already, subscribe to this channel right now. Hit that button. And also, you can become a patron and support the show every single week. Get access to bonus episodes and exclusive merchandise. Patreon.com/Bitchuation Room. Do it.